Hello, Vivek.
Hi.
I'm Isha, and you know me. And today, thank you for meeting with me. And today, we're gonna discuss um, how your weight, how you want to change it, how you think, how you feel about it, and everything that's associated with it. So, what do you think your weight is right now, and how would you like to change that?
So my weight is 132 pounds currently, and it's been stagnant for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm fine with whatever my weight is.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I would be looking at would be reducing my body fat rather than gaining weight or losing weight. So
Mm-hmm.
even if it does either ways, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Okay. And why do you think your body fat is an issue for you?
Um, Considering, I don't know, maybe I just feel my body has lesser muscle, which I mean I used to feel as compared to what I am right now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and as compared to what my genes, like what I got the genes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or what we live as, like our culture. It basically
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
revolve around more on
Mm-hmm.
carbohydrates and
Mm-hmm.
sugary stuff and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So as I've come across, like how the healthy living looks like, and my parents being already, I mean, my father already has diabetes and my mom has hypertension. So I don't want either of that getting to me. So just want to go with a healthier lifestyle, and I now know the importance of what lifestyle looks, a healthier lifestyle looks. So just following that basics and just sticking to that maybe, and it's helping right now. So yeah.
Um, what do you think? Why do you think you're not? You haven't fully accomplished your goal. What do you think is keeping you from that?
Um, I don't know, probably because some like occasional snacking around, cheating on myself, maybe, or just a couple of extra cheat meals, I would say,
Okay.
or I mean, I'm comparatively a beginner in this field. I would say
Mhm.
I've been doing this for like 6 to 7 months, so
Mhm.
I didn't expect. I mean, you couldn't expect everything to happen all of a sudden.
Yeah, most definitely.
So yeah, I was seeing uh, down like an year down the line. So maybe I
Mhm.
would assess myself like after a
Mhm.
year when I completed a year, and I would see, okay, what are the changes I see in myself and what I need to
Mhm.
improve or what I did not improve.
Mhm.
The first thing when I started, I wanted to do is I stick to whatever I'm doing.
Mhm.
So I think I've accomplished that at least. And
Mhm.
I'm working out 5 days a week. That's what I thought. I
Mhm.
never knew that I would stick to that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think I've accomplished that. Let's see how much I can accomplish in the next year, I guess.
Okay. And you said you've been consistent with exercise at least for the last 6 to 7 months
Right.
now.
Yeah.
But about your snacking, how often do you say you have these cheat meals and what do they look like?
Officially, it should be obviously just once a week, but just in case sometimes it's about like a hangout or something, I just end up eating in a restaurant. I mean, I do take. I'm pretty cautious about that. I try to eat little of that, but I mean, it still is more our high calorie food. So obviously that comes under cheat meal. So um, generally it's once a week. Sometimes it goes on to 3 times a week. So
3 days or 3 meals?
3 meals, I would say.
Okay, three
Yeah.
meals, and then you feel like those meals you kind of just they disrupt your everyday. You
Yeah.
know, you try and eat controlled, you eat specific things, and that just disrupts that.
Yeah. Or I can just say it was just a craving and you end up eating that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a cheat meal.
So you feel like you crave different things maybe every other week,
Yeah.
and then you want to have a cheat meal for that, to curb that craving.
Yeah.
Um, do you feel like you kind of try to control that craving too long, or you just like you feel like you crave it, so you just go out that day and you just eat it, or
So
how does
if
that work?
if the craving is something like I can control, as in like if it's like about chocolate or some sugary stuff, I would just eat a piece of it and maybe that's just gonna satisfy my craving rather than eating a huge plate or a huge bar of chocolate or something. But it's if the craving is something like I cannot eat suffice myself as like a piece of it, maybe I just end up eating the whole thing. I mean, whole thing as in like say for example, I craved I don't know, maybe a slice of pizza,
Mm-hmm.
the most cheesiest pizza, I would say. So I just end up eating the whole slice, and then, I mean, I do regret it obviously, but then it was a craving, so I had to eat it. There was, I mean, I don't think there was an substitution for a pizza slice. So
How about a healthier slice? A slice with maybe vegetables or meat, chicken.
yeah, that could be true, but yeah,
You
I mean,
feel like your cravings still would not be fully curbed if you do that?
I don't know. Maybe if it's just a pizza, I would just satisfy with the pizza. I wouldn't have. I don't have anything like specific. Okay, I just want to eat that specific pizza.
Mm-hmm.
That would barely be like once a month. But if it's just a craving, I would just satisfy myself with any pizza.
Then maybe, I mean, to try and address this issue next time, maybe if you're craving
Yeah.
something, maybe if you're craving pizza, get a thin crust pizza
Yeah.
or
So
get one with vegetables
if it's if
or
if I'm
chicken.
yeah. So if I'm pretty like if it's a pizza, I generally go for thin crust. I try to see myself like okay, and I'm not gonna eat the whole pizza. I try to eat like half of it and do whatever with the
Half of like what kind?
Thin
Like a
crust
medium
pizza.
or a large pizza or like
Oh, the
an
medium
extra
pizza.
large?
Yeah.
Because the half matters.
So that yes, it does. So it's generally a medium pizza, half of
Uh-huh.
it, a thin crust pizza
Mhm.
with chicken and some veggies on it. So I mean, I
Mhm.
try to stick whatever healthier way, and also try to curb off my whatever cravings are. So yeah, see it that way. But sometimes it's just like I don't see an example right now, but sometimes it's just like you cannot avoid that. I mean, if I'm craving and there is no alternate option, I would just like okay, just eat it, or maybe just eat a little less than what you were if you were gonna eat the whole thing.
That's a good way of solving the
So
problem.
yeah.
That is a good way of solving the problem.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. And so that's the one thing that you feel like you struggle with. That's your craving, and
Yeah.
curbing the craving, addressing it. You feel like you have cravings very often, and another thing is, if you crave for a certain thing, do you think you may settle for something else? Like, oh, I'm craving, say, I'm craving something that's super unhealthy, but you try and curb it with something else, or I don't know how. I mean, is there such a situation?
So most of my cravings are generally about sugary stuff. I can live. So it's not about pizza. I mean, the last pizza I had was like 3-4 months back, so it's okay about that. But it's mostly about the sugar. So if I can substitute, if the craving is about chocolate, I cannot substitute that with the fruit.
Yeah.
I am quite sure that I'm gonna have a chocolate. So
Uh-huh.
the other way, what I try to do is I used to put a huge bunch, like a lot of chocolates with me, but since I've been trying to follow this, I don't put a lot of chocolate. It's barely like a bar of chocolate, so that whenever I crave, I would just put that piece of chocolate with myself. So I don't see myself around a lot of chocolates that even if I'm not craving, I still feel like maybe I would just eat it.
If you would have more around you, you would just eat it.
Yeah, right.
But since you restrict the supply, you restrict how much you have around you, you don't eat as
Yeah,
much.
so I also look at that way. So maybe just the things that I don't like or they're unhealthier, I would just not stick with that.
Just not
Yeah.
buy it. Another thing that with reference to your diet history, another thing that I saw was your intake of honey.
Yeah.
So you consume honey at least 3 times a day.
Yes.
In addition to, if you're eating a chocolate, so that is just extra sugar, extra honey just going into your body.
Yeah.
What do you feel? How do you feel about that?
So how I see honey, I mean, that's true, but how I see it is at least I'm substituting sugar with honey. Is how I see it. So I used to consume a lot more sugar, obviously, than this right before. So rather than just numbing this whatever the sourness or with the sweetness, I try to put it with a natural kind of sweetener. So I try to get honeys which are more organic and which has no sugar added. I know it does still have some amount of sugar, but it's more pretty much like no sugar added, or I don't add any sugar on top of that. So that's how I see honey. I know it's like 3 times a day, but I don't see any other alternative apart from like using stevia or something else.
How about for your shake? you add a banana, right?
Yeah.
The banana would, how about like just for one shake you try it out, that
Okay.
instead of just not adding honey, but you already add banana, so
Right.
banana does give some amount of sweetness to it.
Yeah.
So how about skipping honey just for that one? You
Um,
continue with the morning and the
right.
night honey, but just for that one
I actually really thought about that.
thing.
It was like maybe I don't see the reason. I thought that banana has some sweetness, but then I also thought so if we like see it that way, I thought that it's like you also add oats with 300 ml of milk, and there is no other sweetener which you add except for banana. So I was thinking maybe I don't know if that's gonna balance it out, but yeah, I can give it a try.
You can maybe give it a try. You
Yeah.
can see how that works,
Works,
because
yeah.
just banana by itself, it is pretty sweet.
It is sweet, yeah.
It is
It is
pretty
sweet.
sweet. So maybe that's one place at least, even if it's 1 teaspoon of honey, if we can cut one little thing down, because just 1 teaspoon of honey can be like quite some.
Yeah, it's like it's basically adding up eventually. That's how I
It
see
is.
it.
It's
too.
just little things, and even if it's like a small change that we can make, it starts with one small thing. You might think, oh, it might not be sweet enough, but when you actually drink it, you think, oh, this is not that bad. I could live with this.
Right. Yeah, I can try that.
Okay. Um. Yeah. And another, I mean, with reference to your diet, any other thing that you think in your everyday diet might be maybe a little out of proportion, or you think you might want to make some changes,
So,
maybe with your snacking or anything else?
yeah, snacking is already an issue that I already know, but I'm trying
Or
to
like the
avoid
daily
it.
snacking, as in the diet history, we made a mention that you kind of feel the need to snack around 7 o'clock,
Yeah,
despite having a late lunch at 4:30.
yeah. So I don't know. It's just sometimes it's more about like again the snacking would be more. It's not always about like okay I need to eat something. I wouldn't be hungry, but if I feel like again it's like if I feel like I'm craving like some sugar stuff or something which is sweet, I would just end up eating. So I would still classify like eating few wafer biscuits under that as snacking too, but I wouldn't eat anything just for the sake of eating it because I just want to eat something.
But do you
So-
think you get hungry around that time?
No, I don't.
So you're not snacking out of hunger.
No.
You're
It's just
snacking
okay.
for just a craving, and it's almost on an everyday basis that you feel like you're snacking.
It,
With the one piece of
I
chocolate,
mean, you wouldn't say.
or with the wafer biscuit.
Yeah, or maybe I can say 2 to 3. I mean, once or 2 days. Once in 2 days, I guess. Not every day. It depends. I
Not
mean,
every
what time I'm going home, or sometimes I am hungry. So that time I feel like maybe I just need to eat something. So I just end up eating a couple more. And not chocolates, but like wafer biscuit or some chips or something.
Okay. Okay. Alright. But what about the days you don't feel hungry? Do you think that is something that you could control? Snacking if you're not hungry.
I don't know if I mean I don't see the difference because I eat pretty much the same thing. Now a day which when I don't feel hungry and a day I feel hungry. I mean there could be factors I mean that could affect like maybe just 10 minutes extra walk or something, or maybe I just on that day specifically I just work out a little more, like, or maybe just a little extra weight or something. I haven't seen that into detail, but I mean that could be one of the things that could affect, like, because I eat pretty much the same, so I see it that way. Like if you're eating pretty much the same, then why do you feel hungry at that time if you didn't feel hungry the other day? So
So do you think that is another change maybe we could inculcate? Maybe if today, if you don't feel hungry around 7 o'clock, maybe don't snack? Because a lot of times what happens is we tend to eat out of habit. So just because you're used to snacking, then you're even if you're not hungry or even if you're not craving, you kind of reach to it
Right.
out of habit.
That's-
So if that is something we can maybe
yeah.
look at, if you're hungry, if you feel hungry genuinely, if you think maybe okay I've worked a little extra today, I'm hungry and I need to have like a little snack,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe replacing your snack with fruit,
Yeah.
or replacing it with something healthy,
Yeah.
maybe something of that sort.
Yeah.
Or not maybe if you're not hungry, just cutting the snack out, keeping it to the days that you're hungry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Okay. So for now, that is it. We've already reached our
Okay.
end of this session. But the two things that we specifically discussed were your sugar cravings
Yeah.
and your snacking habit. And if we can tend to those, if by the two things, by either trying to, the first thing we try and cut down your honey intake, at least just in your post workout
Yeah.
shake.
Mm-hmm.
So just in that one, and then cutting down your snacking maybe in the evening, keeping it only to days when you genuinely feel hungry,
Okay.
and not just as a out of habit.
Yeah.
Then we can maybe see some changes. Yeah.
Yes, I can try that.
Mhm. Okay. So that's it. Thank you for the session.
Sure.
Thank you for participating, and we should most definitely follow up regarding this in 2 weeks.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.